Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Firefighters respond to calls of fire shooting through the roof of a restaurant in Converse last night. Why firefighters say it was pretty much over by the time they got there.
A 25-year-old Virginia teacher is being called a hero for evacuating students from her classroom even after she was shot by a 6-year-old student. We're going to get an update on her condition and what's happening next for that 6-year-old.
You will factor this into your morning commute. Dense fog advisory. Mike will tell us how long that advisory will last. Coming up. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, January 10th.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's a little weird on the roadway on the way to work today. You could see nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty intense out there as far as visibilities go, and pretty consistent. I saw it far north side and then all the way to downtown this morning, Mike.
Kind of cut our area in half.
Okay.
Hill country, not bad at all, but here in town and then east is where the thick fog is. And y'all have a little mist on windshield?
Just the slightest bit, barely noticeable.
Yeah, I was looking, it's like, is that mist? And the wipers kind of went a little bit. So it's real light stuff out there, just enough to make the roads kind of slippery. And this is a view. Yeah, that's not very good. This is 10 at 410 on the northwest side. Quarter-mile visibility out there at the airport. 0 at Castro. Quarter-mile Hondo. Same thing, Pleasanton. A little bit better up around New Braunfels. Not bad at Randolph as of right now. Then again, go out into the hill country, like I said, Kerrville, 10 miles, Uvalde, 10 miles visibility. That's good out there. And then to the east is where all the thick fog is, and that's where the dense fog advisory is. Runs right along I-35 from Austin to San Antonio, and then down 37 and off to the east up until 10 o'clock this morning. So it is going to be stubborn. It's going to get thicker at times, maybe a little thinner here and there, but just count on reduced visibilities and those dampish roads as you head on in. 60 right now, mid 50s in the hill country. Temperatures with all this high humidity and the low clouds out there, the fog not going anywhere, and the dew point temperatures are running obviously neck and neck with the air temperature. So 60 dew point, 60 temperature. We've got 100% humidity out there and not much of a breeze. Mountain Cedar really dropped down yesterday, only on the moderate side, and throughout the rest of the morning we are going to have the fog, a little bit of mist. Temperatures again stay steady. Then it's going to be another warm one. We did make it into the mid 70s yesterday. It's going to be up to 80 today, and southwesterly wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. We do it all over again tomorrow. Then we got a front moving on through here. Big question, any rain associated with that front? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
See you then. Thank you, Mike. New this morning, there'll be some cleaning up to do at a Chinese restaurant out in Converse after a fire last night. Happened just before 10 p.m. in the 8200 block of FM 78. Firefighters got a call about a fire showing through the roof. When they got there, they found the fire suppression system installed in the business had mostly put the flames out already. Firefighters say it appears that a grease fire that happened while someone was cooking was quickly knocked down. There was no damage to the actual structure of the building since the fire was contained to the vent. Converse police had already evacuated everyone from adjacent businesses, so no one was hurt. Now to new details about that Virginia teacher who police say was shot by a 6-year-old student.
A vigil was held in her honor as we learn where that gun came from. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has a story.
This shooting was not accidental.
Police in Newport News, Virginia, for the first time are explaining what happened inside this school where they say a 6-year-old shot a teacher with a 9mm handgun Friday.
I believe that Miss Zorner, Abigail, that she saved lives on Friday.
The chief emotional as he shared what he says 25-year-old teacher Abby Werner said from her hospital bed about the moment a student approached her during a lesson with no warning and pointed a gun at her. She says she raised her hand in a defensive motion and the boy pulled the trigger, sending a bullet through her hand and into her upper chest. Police say another staffer quickly subdued the boy while Werner sprang into action to help the rest of her class get to safety.
Mrs. Werner was the last person to leave that class, and then she stopped. And she turned around. She turned around to make sure that every one of those students was safe.
Only then did she get help for her wounds.
That's not surprising, but it is heroic.
Investigators say the gun was legally purchased by the boy's mother and was brought to school in a backpack, but it's unclear how he got a hold of it. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
An investigation is underway after several classified documents from President Joe Biden's time as vice president were recently discovered. They were found in a private Washington, D.C. office that Biden used while he served as honorary professor for the University of Pennsylvania. Lawyers for the president say they have since been handed over to the National Archives. However, the Department of Justice is looking into the matter, and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is staying tight-lipped about whether the new GOP Congress should investigate President Biden. But some Republicans say in comparison, the probe into the classified documents found at former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate was handled differently.
A jury is now seated in the seditious conspiracy trial against 5 members of the Proud Boys. Opening statements are set to begin tomorrow in Washington, D.C. Federal prosecutors say they intend to prove the 5 members plotted and encouraged violence that led up to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The Proud Boys had previously said they cannot be held responsible for others who committed violence on that day. So far, the Justice Department has charged more than 900 people with crimes related to the Capitol attack.
Another powerful storm is hitting California this morning. Tens of thousands of people remain without power as streets and highways have been transformed into gushing rivers. I mean, look at this video. The rain and flooding is causing trees to topple and several mudslides. The death toll from the storm is up to at least 14. 2 of those were killed by falling trees. Also, a roughly 7-hour search for a missing boy turned up only his shoe before officials called it off as water levels were too dangerous for divers. 436, 60 degrees.
More than 4 million sleepers for infants are still under a big recall. Why parents need to pay extra attention if you have one of these in your home.
And the Spurs kept pace with the Grizzlies last night, but just couldn't hold on at the end. What Coach Pop is saying about losing to Memphis 8 straight times.
And looking at the roads with TransGuide, fog's the big story today. You can see it pretty clear there. Loop 410 at Ingram Road. A few vehicles traveling. Doesn't appear to be any problems at this time.
It is much easier to see the roads through TransGuide than it is through our live cams, which of course are higher. This one is out by the airport, so visibility will be an issue. But again, it depends on where you are. Mike has more on that and our Tuesday forecast straight ahead. Jakob Poeltl back in the lineup last night for the Spurs as the Silver and Black took on the Grizzlies without Ja Morant for the first 2 games in Memphis. Poeltl contributes right away, getting a nice look inside. The Spurs' first points of the night. San Antonio keeping pace early off the miss. Romeo Langford goes for the tip in, and they lead 11-10. Then later in the frame, Doug McDermott finds Jeremy Sohan, who swings it to Malachi Branham for the 3, but Memphis leads 72-61 at halftime. Fast forward to the 4th. Spurs start to rally. Josh Richardson with the turnover and starts the break. Stanley Johnson gets it to Richardson, who finished with the lay-in, and the Spurs take their first lead of the second half, 99-98, forcing a Grizz timeout. Few possessions later, Trey Jones make a tough shot in the paint, ties it up at 109, but the Grizz take control from there. Tyus Jones with an acrobatic assist to Desmond Bane for the corner 3. Memphis pulls away to win at 121-113. The Spurs have lost to the Grizzlies 8 straight times, a first under head coach Greg Popovich against any team.
We found the grunt in the second half and gave ourselves a chance. Once we tied it, and there came, whatever. Bad shot, turnover, they make a 3, all of a sudden it's a 6 or 8 point game. The story of the season so far, so that's what we're trying to work on.
Next, it is a rematch. Spurs play the Grizzlies again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at FedEx Forum. San Antonio Spurs Fiesta-themed court has been installed inside the Alamodome for their 50th anniversary game, which will be held Friday night. The game is being called Back Home in the Dome. That's where the Spurs called home from 93 to 2002 before moving on to the AT&T Center in 2003. So far, there have been more than 59,000 tickets sold. That leaves the Spurs about 2,600 shy of the all-time regular season attendance record back in 1998. That record was 62,046 in the Georgia Dome between the Bulls and Hawks. As you can see, the capacity is over 65K with the court set in the Final Four configuration. Tip-off against Golden State on Friday night is at 6:30. All right, now to the college football playoff national championship. Tough end for the TCU Horned Frogs, losing to Georgia 65-7. This is the first back-to-back champion since Alabama in 2011 and 2012. First, the Texans gave Lovie Smith the boot. Now Cliff Kingsbury becomes the latest NFL coach to lose his job after he was fired by the Cardinals. Kingsbury, who grew up in New Braunfels after he was born in San Antonio, was a quarterback for the Unicorns before moving on to Texas Tech. He was the offensive coordinator for A&M when Johnny Manziel won the Heisman back in 2012. And get this, his firing comes less than a year after he signed a contract extension with the Cards through 2027. Kingsbury's dismissal comes after the Cardinals lost to the 49ers 38-13 to finish their season at 4-13. But we saw that one coming too. We even talked about it yesterday during GMSA at 9.
Yeah, we did. Time now 4:42 and 60 degrees for now. Some sleepers for infants that were popular for years continue to be under a big recall. Why? Fisher-Price is sending out a new warning for parents.
At a first look at new details just revealed as the search continues for a missing Massachusetts mother of 3.
And welcome back. It's 4:45. Police in Massachusetts are continuing their search for a missing mother of 3 after her husband was arraigned for misleading a police investigation in connection with his wife's disappearance. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, what happened to missing mom Anna Walsh?
Bail is set at $500,000 cash.
Shocking new details unveiled as the search for the missing Massachusetts mother of 3 continues.
It's gut-wrenching. It's gut-wrenching.
At her husband Brian's first court appearance, prosecutors saying they found a bloody knife inside the couple's home.
In the basement, crime scene services recovered and found blood in the basement area, in a section of the basement. There was also a knife that was found. On the knife, there was also blood, and part of the knife was damaged.
Overnight, police searched this trash transfer station in connection to the disappearance. ABC affiliate WCVB was there as investigators meticulously combed through garbage in hazmat suits. And we'll have the very latest on this urgent investigation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Just about 4:47, 2 companies that make sleepers are re-announcing their massive recalls because more infants are losing their lives.
12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz shows us which products can put babies at risk.
These sleepers for infants were popular for years, but now Fisher-Price is repeating its 2019 recall of more than 4.5 million rock and play sleepers because since that recall, 8 more infants have died. In all, approximately 100 babies' deaths are linked to them. Kids 2 also is re-announcing its recall of nearly 700,000 rocking sleepers because 4 more infants have died in the past 3 years. The danger is in the design, that incline.
Products that place an infant in a reclined sleeping position increase the risk of suffocation, causing an infant's head to tilt forward and compress the airway.
Or they may roll over into the cushion. Unable to roll back, they suffocate. Those inclined sleepers for infants are now banned by federal law. They're no longer made or legally sold, but they are still very likely in homes and still being used. Something else popular with parents and legal, inclined rockers. They're not marketed for sleep, but desperate parents may use them that way. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says 13 deaths are linked to Fisher-Price inclined rockers and warns parents they should never be used for sleep. The safest way for infants to sleep, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, is alone on their backs on a firm, flat surface, such as a crib, play yard, or bassinet. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there with TransGuide. Pretty foggy this morning. You can kind of see that at Loop 410 at Ingram Road, but things are moving at this hour.
It's that time of year where you're never quite sure whether the AC needs to be on or sometimes the furnace, and then you switch back. I miss the days of having one of those fancy thermostats that had an auto setting where it would do one or the other. Mine doesn't do that right now.
Oh, yeah, you have to fix it yourself. Yeah.
But then there's that message that pops up on the thermostat that says, come on. And it keeps going back and forth.
He has a different thermostat than we do.
Yeah, apparently.
Today, you don't need heat in the morning, and you'll need some air conditioning in the afternoon, more than likely. Same thing tomorrow. Then it's going to be going back and forth. So yesterday, beautiful sunset in Anderson, and wow, that was gorgeous. Looks like something out of Halloween time. That is just fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Sunset tonight is going to be every bit as spectacular. Sunrise, well, off to the west, you'll see a better sunrise, but we're going to keep some of these low clouds and fog around here. And again, this is, Wow, a little bit better than what it was throughout the start of the show, but this is 10 and the interchange with 410 looking down to the south. Medical Center is back out here. And now granted, like Mark pointed out earlier, that camera's on top of a building right there, so a little less visibility, but still a quarter mile out there at the airport. 0 Castroville. It is now down to 0 visibility at Hondo and just about a third of a mile Port SA. Randolph's not doing too bad, and New Braunfels has dropped a little bit of a drop down in Bernie Stage as well. And then out in the hill country, pretty good, but then eastern half of our area has most of the dense fog. Now, even though they're Hondo and Medina County, you don't have the dense fog advisory. Obviously, you have that thick fog, but the advisory is posted in the eastern half of our area up until 10 o'clock this morning. So this will be stubborn. There is a little bit of mist with it as well. So the roads obviously are on the damp side. Temperatures, normal high is 63. Just to put it in perspective, normal low is 41. So we're 20 above normal, basically, and we've got mid-upper 50s as well as 60s around the area. A couple of exceptions, Kerrville and Hondo down in the 40s, and of course the dew points are running neck and neck with those temperatures, and dew points are up a good 15, 20, 25 degrees compared to this time yesterday. All that humidity with those southeasterly winds just decided to flood on in here, so we keep the fog around and steady temperatures throughout the rest of the morning. Maybe a light jacket for the kids at the bus stop, just because it's with that high humidity, almost a sort of a dampish chill out there. And then we are going to make it up to the mid 70s at noon. We'll have a lot more sunshine. Gorgeous day today, but it is going to be on the hot side. We'll be 15, 20 degrees above normal. And as far as the humidity, yep, it is going to be sticking around. We do the same thing tomorrow and through the day tomorrow, but then notice the dry air, which is going to start to work its way in here. This will be in the early morning hours on Thursday when that next front moves on through. It's not going to be a huge blast of cold air, but the drier air will then allow temperatures to drop down. So finally we'll make it back down to normal readings after this little bit of a taste of spring to start off the second week of the new year. 74 degrees today at noon, mostly sunny skies. So we have the fog up through mid-morning, mist, and then 80 high temperature today. Tomorrow, like I said, all over again, fog in the morning, 82 in the afternoon. Front comes through early on Thursday. We'll still be mild right as that front moves on through here, 57 degrees, but then 65 for a high temperature, so much closer to normal than down to the mid 40s. Friday morning, Saturday morning, up to 65, so in the ballpark of where we should be. And then the humidity, look at that, all of a sudden 60 Monday morning, so a lot more humidity around here to start off then next week.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Maybe some rain later on with all that humidity. Yeah.
There's nothing in the offing as far as any rain. That's the big problem as well. So
can we put our order in now and then pick it up
early
later?
Yeah, curbside.
Perhaps.
Yeah, the supply chain on the rain just ain't working out here. Okay. So we're going to be waiting a while. So
that whole supply demand thing. Yeah. 452, 60 degrees.
Up next, we'll tell you about Taylor Swift's latest song to return to the top of the Billboard charts. But let's first look at the Golden Globe Award nominations.
The Golden Globes are back, and Taylor Swift returns to the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart.
For the latest what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
After being in the penalty box for over a year over allegations of shady financial dealings and a lack of diversity among members, the Golden Globes back on TV tonight.
Just tell me what I've done to you.
When you didn't do anything to me.
On the film side, Colin Farrell's quirky dramedy, The Banshees of Inisherin, up for the most awards, 8. Followed by the mind-bending multiverse thriller Everything Everywhere All at Once with 6.
These new keys I made must be too thick.
ABC's Abbott Elementary is the most nominated TV show.
With a little East Coast swag.
The Golden Globes air tonight on NBC. Disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein was supposed to be sentenced Monday in Los Angeles after being convicted of rape and other sex crimes in December. The sentencing delayed until February while his lawyers work on a motion for a new trial.
It's me.
Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero returns to the top of the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart its 7th week on top, and that ties a big Swift record. Anti-Hero and Swift's 2014 song Blank Space are now her longest-running #1 singles. One more week, and Anti-Hero will have the record all to itself. And happy birthday, Rod Stewart. The rock legend is 78 today, while Black Adam's Sarah Shahi is 43. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Had the radio on the other day, changing stations. I swear that Taylor Swift song was on like 4 different stations at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's popular right now.
It's everywhere. 457, 60 degrees.
Department of Justice has launched a review into classified documents found at the University of Pennsylvania's Penn Biden Center in Washington, D.C. What a former President Trump aide is saying about that investigation.
Plus, how a new study is providing new hope in helping treat those suffering from combat-related PTSD.
And let's take a look at the roads with TransGuide looking over at I-37 at Fair Avenue. It's pretty foggy out there. Be careful on the roadways. We have our Steve Cavazos checking on the roads. We'll be checking in with him very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A local woman crashes into a house overnight. What San Antonio police are saying about those who were inside.
I'm ABC's Justin Finch. The White House says it is cooperating with the Justice Department investigation centered on classified records recently found at President Biden's former office. Why some say this is not like the Mar-a-Lago case, and more details ahead.
And let's look out there with a live cam. Very foggy in some areas. We're at 60 degrees, not as cold as it was yesterday morning.
And good morning to you. It's Tuesday, January 10th. And during this last commercial break, we're already swapping a few stories about how tricky it is on the roads driving into work this morning.
Yes, it is. And weird coming into downtown and not seeing, any buildings out there. Check in with Mike.
Yeah, a lot of fog around the area. Some folks aren't seeing anything right now, especially out in western portions of the hill country. And then some folks, you can't hardly even see your hand in front of your face. The fog is so thick. 59 degrees at the airport, and look at that bottom number is also at 59. So when the temperature, dew point are the same, then you get 100% humidity. A little bit of a breeze out there, which always helps to kind of stir things up somewhat, as opposed to having just no wind at all. It is going to be a hot one again today. We're going to make it up to 80, so we'll be 15 to 20 degrees above normal this afternoon, and we're going to do it all again tomorrow as well. Kind of jumping ahead of myself a little bit. The aquifer yesterday dropped down 0.4 of a foot, and the allergens, Mountain Cedar, which was up about 9,000 or more previous day, yesterday dropped down to just a 580 on the moderate side. Unfortunately, though, as far as Mountain Cedar is concerned, we've got a big front coming through here Thursday morning, and it's going to be stirring up some northwesterly winds. They're going to be pretty breezy. So again, kind of jumping ahead of things here. First of all, the fog, quarter-mile visibility out at the airport. Castroville has improved slightly, but still have zero visibility at Hondo. Kerrville, Uvalde, very nice, but it's also dropping somewhat at Bernie Stage. And Randolph is holding pretty good as of right now, but it is going to continue to be a threat and thickening up at times. Eastern half of the area is where the majority of the fog is, and that's where the dense fog advisory is, right along 35, and then straight down to the south. This is in effect up until 10 o'clock this morning, so it will be fairly stubborn fog sticking around throughout all of the morning commute. Pea soup, fog, and a little bit of mist out there. It was extremely fine mist on windshield, and of course that makes the roads just damp enough. Sunny, very warm today, as well as tomorrow. We're going to do the same thing over again. Fog in the morning and then very warm in the afternoon. Then the front comes through Thursday. Cooler and windy on Thursday especially, and will be even cooler Friday morning. So we'll still be kind of on the mild side with a low temperature on Thursday and then staying just in the mid 60s. So closer to normal readings as we go into Friday, Saturday. Then we get warmer going into the latter part of the weekend and the humidity returns. We're going to get all the details sorted out in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, good morning, Stephen. Anything going on with this fog yet as far as roads?
Not just yet, Mike, but I think you described it perfectly. It is pretty tough to see out there. So for a lot of us here in the studio, the commute was a little bit slow this morning, and that's what we recommend. So keep in mind, we have about 20 TransGuide cameras right next to me, and actually a lot of these cameras are picking up some of that fog. So you can expect to see that as you get the morning commute rolling. Thankfully, 410 at Perrin Vital, not a bad spot there, but you can see a few folks are already awake. So we want to make sure you get to your destination safely. Obviously, take your time this morning. Thankfully, the roads are quiet enough to where you don't need to rush out the door this morning. So just again, take your time, especially if you're traveling into San Antonio, perhaps from Bernie on I-10. That journey should be about 24 minutes in the eastbound lanes. We are seeing a little bit of a slowdown on 281 southbound if you're traveling in from Bulverde, and that's usually expected around this time. So 28 minutes, we're in the yellow, so take your time coming in from Bulverde, and 25 minutes on I-35 southbound. Not too bad from New Braunfels there. So just expect to see some normal travel times. It does look like we have a stalled vehicle out there at 410 at Fredericksburg, but 10 at Proban. Wow, definitely a foggy shot out there. We'll continue to watch the roads closely and have those updates on closures coming up in the next few minutes. Mark, Steph.
Stephen, thank you. New this morning, San Antonio police say a woman drove through the bedroom of a home on the city's northeast side overnight. Happened just before 1 o'clock this morning in the 14,000 block of Green Jay Drive, not far from Higgins and Lane. Police say the woman was driving down Lane and crossed over Higgins before going through a fence and into the back bedroom. No one was in the room at the time, so no one was hurt. San Antonio police say the woman was detained on suspicion of DWI. The 88th Texas legislature will convene at the Texas Capitol today.
And legislators have a massive cash surplus in this year's budget to figure out how they will spend it. Sarah Costa joins us live with what we can expect this session. Good morning.
Good morning, Steph. Good morning, Mark. It's not an awful problem to have, trying to figure out what to do with all that money, but it will be interesting to see what direction legislatures choose to go with the surplus spending. They will decide what to do with nearly $30 billion in budget surplus. Texas is projected to have $188.2 billion available in general revenue for funding the business of the state this session, an unprecedented 26% increase from what lawmakers had during the last budget cycle. Texas Comptroller Glenn Hagar says it's far more money than legislatures have ever had at their disposal, with an increase in available funds that dwarfs any previous jumps between cycles, thanks largely to a tax collection windfall that left the state flushed with cash. Governor Greg Abbott is asking for property tax relief. Local lawmakers say education, including school debt, teacher pay, mental health, and health care should be top priorities. As bills get filed, we'll get a better idea on what's being put at the forefront of this session. And the opening day swearing-in ceremony for members-elect of the Texas House of Representatives will begin at noon today. Steph.
Thank you, Sarah. A San Antonio family was embraced by prayers last night as they returned to the crash site where 3 siblings were killed. This was the scene on the corner of Thousand Oaks and Alamo Blanco Street. The Flores Hasso siblings were identified by family as 22-year-old Evelyn, 17-year-old Ivan, and 9-year-old Julian. They're survived by parents and a 20-year-old sister. As we first reported yesterday here on GMSA, San Antonio police say their vehicle was T-boned as it returned from a nearby store.
Y ya venían de regreso a la casa, nada más fueron a agarrar la medicina y ya.
Neighbors who witnessed the crash say they want to see the city do something about slowing down traffic along that stretch. The city says a 2016 study found low traffic volume in that area.
This morning, the Justice Department has launched a preliminary investigation into classified presidential documents.
As ABC's Justin Finch reports, this time the focus is on recently found records at a Washington, D.C. office space that President Biden used during the run-up to his 2020 presidential campaign.
This morning, ABC News has learned the Justice Department has launched a preliminary investigation into classified records from President Biden's time as vice president. Biden now in Mexico for talks with the leaders of Canada and Mexico, not answering questions about the matter. The White House telling ABC News it's cooperating with the National Archives and the Justice Department, confirming a small number of documents with classified markings were discovered when President Biden's personal attorneys were packing files housed in a locked closet at the Penn Biden Center, where Biden kept in office before his 2020 election campaign. The White House adding the items were handed over to the National Archives the following morning.
There's no indication yet that there's any kind of criminal investigation that's been launched as a result of this finding.
Former President Trump was quick to respond, asking when is the FBI going to raid the many homes of Joe Biden, perhaps even the White House. The White House underscoring the documents were not the subject of a National Archives request, drawing a hard line between this investigation and the Justice Department's criminal probe into the trove of FBI-seized classified records from Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate.
This appears to be a wildly different, at least at this stage, situation than what former President Donald Trump is facing with the criminal investigation into his alleged mishandling of classified documents after leaving the presidency.
Sources tell ABC Attorney General Merrick Garland is assigning U.S. Attorney John Losh to head this review. The Trump appointee will investigate the chain of possession of those classified documents. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
509, 59 degrees.
Instagram is making changes to its home screen. We're going to tell you what they are and when you'll see it take effect.
A new PTSD treatment being developed in part by UT Health San Antonio so far has a 75% success rate. Why it isn't being called a cure just yet.
And let's look out there with live cam, foggy morning, and also not as cold as it was yesterday morning. 59 degrees. We'll be right back.
5:13, a new clinical study is showing major headway in helping treat those suffering from combat-related post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD.
A researcher with UT Health San Antonio worked with scientists across the country to study over 200 active duty and veteran service members suffering with PTSD. They used a technique called prolonged exposure. Typically, it is a treatment used once a week over several months, and many participants drop out before treatment is completed. The study looked at using prolonged exposure in a more intensive 3-week period. It had a 75% success rate, but so far it isn't being called a cure.
We keep moving the needle, pushing the envelope further and further to get better outcomes. It's incredibly rewarding. I kind of feel like I'm doing my most important work in my life.
There are other clinical studies that are going to be done because they haven't reached a 100% success rate yet in treating PTSD. We have information on those studies and treatments on our website. Just click on this story on KSAT.com.
5:14, 59 degrees.
Apple is working on a new in-house chips and how they would be better at providing cellular, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth functionality on its devices.
Are you ready for some Xbox cookies? We'll tell you about these limited edition cookies that also have secret codes inside.
I'm Steve. I lost 138 pounds in 9 months on Golo and taking release. Golo saved my life. I was way overweight, and that's what sent me down the path. Was I wanted to make sure and live for my kid. Plain and simple.
Did you hear that, Jim? It's the sound of your sandpaper skin shredding the sheets. You need Jergens Ultra Healing Lotion.
Much softer.
Now, if only it could soften the snoring.
I snore?
And energizing citrus body butter. Jergens.
I'm not slowing down anytime soon. That's why I take OsteoBiFlex every day. It's clinically shown to improve joint comfort in 7 days and continues to improve over time. Kinda like us. OsteoBiFlex, because I'm made to move.
Your shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Just about 5:18. Welcome back. Instagram making changes to its home screen that will take effect next month. ABC's Christy Aletto has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Instagram is reshuffling its navigation tabs. The overhaul coming next month will remove the Shop tab from the bottom of your screen so that the lineup will be Home, Search, Create Reels, and Profile. Instagram says the goal is to simplify and focus more on bringing people together. Next, Apple is reportedly ramping up its chip development. Bloomberg says Apple is working on a new chip that would power cellular, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth functionality on its devices. The chips are not expected to be in use before next year at the earliest. And time to combine an Xbox with Oreo cookies has arrived. The two are joining forces to create a limited edition Xbox themed pack of Oreos. Users can scan the cookies packaging to play a mini game, but the packs are only available in Europe. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
5:18.
I was like looking at those cookies. Okay, only in Europe. I was going to play the game anyway.
Stuff. You like the thin ones? The thin Oreos?
Oh, yeah, those I like them all.
Well, yeah. I don't like the double stuff, though.
You know?
But the thin ones and the lemon thin ones? Oh.
Oh, I don't know about
those. Those are good.
See, in the thin ones, you can eat more of them.
Right.
And not feel bad. There you go.
You feel like you can eat more of them. Yeah.
Hey, catching a few droplets on some of our TransSky cameras. I think that's some of the myths that you mentioned, Mike. Let's get a quick look here. I think it's US 90 at Couples is the shot that we have here ready for you. Check that out. Traffic's obviously pretty busy at this time along US 90, and it gets just busier minute by minute. But of course, with the conditions outside, you want to make sure that you take your time. Haven't spotted any major issues, at least at this point, but it is early, so give it some time. time. We want to make sure that you arrive safely to your destination. But again, just fog is really what we're seeing in some of those damp roads that Mike said we could probably expect. But let's get you to the map, because this is really going to be the trend, at least for right now. A lot of green out there, and of course, a lot of those road closures. Even though it is foggy out there, those TxDOT crews still have their hands busy. I-10 on the east side of Bexar County. This will take place a little bit later this morning, beginning at 8. So road work, and we mentioned all the work that takes place along I-10, but this will continue from up until 5 p.m. There will be a full closure of the eastbound frontage road from Cibolo Creek to Zool Road. So just watch out for those crews out there as they work to improve the roadways, and head over to KSAT.com for a full list of closures/traffic. But back here, TransGuide, we're not picking up fog on a lot of these cameras, Mike, but some of them we're seeing it more than others, like US 90 particularly.
Yeah, and perfect example that it is thicker in spots than in other spots. More on that in just a moment. Great picture out there at Walker Ranch Park. Buck and a doe off in the background. Beautiful shot. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, it has improved somewhat over there at 10 at 410. We can actually see the entire interchange, and obviously kind of murky off there in the background. So this is a nice little measuring stick, if you will, as to what the fog is doing on the northwest side of town. Still quarter-mile visibility out at the airport. It's improved somewhat at Port SA, as well as Castroville, as well as Hondo. Bernie Stage still at 5 miles. Same thing, New Braunfels. And then there's this little area of clearing right here, kind of in between in the northeast side of Bexar County going up into Comal County. Then go down 37, you're going to run into some of this fog as well. It's not bad out to the west, to the east, more of it, and this is where dense fog advisory is. And also, as you can see now, this has been expanded westward, given the fact that we had those visibility, which was down to 0 at both Castroville and Hondo within the past half hour. So Medina County on down south, Frio County have been included in this dense fog advisory up until 10 o'clock this morning. So it's going to be stubborn. It's going to be sticking around all throughout the morning commute. 57 Helotes, 55 Bernie Stage, and 59 here in town. And throughout the rest of the morning, temperatures will stay basically steady within a degree or two. Right around upper 50s, 60 at the airport, and keep the fog around through mid-morning. Then some sunshine, and it's going to be beautiful this afternoon. It is going to be on the warm side, so maybe just a light little jacket this morning just because of that extra humidity out there, kind of that dampish cool. Then 80 for high temperatures, so 15, 20 degrees above normal. The really cold stuff, which, yes, Bismarck is at 8 right now, but we're not seeing just this, widespread cold outbreak around the country, and that cold stuff is just going to be staying up there to the north of us. Now, we will have a front moving on through, and with that drier air, that's going to allow temperatures to kind of cool off a little bit more in the mornings. And yes, we get rid of these well above normal temperatures. So we're going to be at 82 on Wednesday, and then back down to close to where we should be, normal high being 63, so we'll be in the mid 60s. Then temperatures come back up into the 70s Sunday into next week. Low temperatures then finally Thursday will start off still on the mild side prior to the front moving through, but then we'll be down closer to normal readings Friday, Saturday. And look at that, all of a sudden bopping up to 60 where we are right now by Monday, which means more humidity comes back in here late in the weekend, first part of next week. 74 at noon, mostly sunny skies, a lot of fog, mist, maybe a couple little specks of drizzle here and there this morning, and then 80 high temperature today with sunny skies well above normal. We're going to do it all over again tomorrow. Fog in the morning and then very warm in the afternoon. Then that front moves through early on Thursday. We'll still be mild right ahead of the front and then stay at 65 throughout the day. Mid 40s Friday morning, Saturday morning, nice and chilly. Beautiful. Then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, more clouds. Sunday, more humidity comes back in.
Good weekend, though.
Not a drop of rain in that forecast either.
Yeah, okay, we'll just keep checking in with you and hopefully later on.
Hopefully something changes.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
523, 59 degrees.
Up next, the Avatar sequel is finally turning a profit as it continues to top the box office, plus Bumper gets a second season.
526, the biggest movie in theaters is finally breaking even on its production costs.
CNN's David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
I hear her heartbeat.
Avatar: The Way of Water is now the 7th highest grossing movie ever at the worldwide box office. The sequel has made more than $1.7 billion in less than a month, passing 2015's Jurassic World for number 7, and it's about $200 million behind Spider-Man: No Way Home at number 6.
I've wanted to be famous my entire life. I thought Berlin was going to change everything.
He's off to a good start. Peacock has renewed Pitch Perfect Bumper in Berlin for a second season. The streamer says the series had the biggest launch of any Peacock original comedy so far. Adam Lambert is holding out for a hero. His glam rock take on the Bonnie Tyler hit is the new single off Lambert's upcoming album, High Drama, due out February 24th. Fresh from the fight in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Time now, 5:27 and 59 degrees for now.
The search for a missing boy in California is called off during a deadly storm. We'll tell you why and where that storm system is going next.
And a good treatment for RSV would be great news for parents. We're going to tell you about a potential therapy for kids and how close it is to becoming available.
This morning, tens of thousands of people remain without power in parts of California as streets and highways transform into rivers due to a deadly storm system. Why authorities had to call off the search for a missing boy.
And let's look out there with live cam. We're starting off not as cold, 59 degrees, not too bad, but it's been a foggy morning.
Morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 10th of January.
Thanks for joining us. I know yesterday was beautiful. What can we expect today?
It's going to be beautiful once we get rid of the fog because it's thick in spots. We've got a little bit of mist out there, a little bit of drizzle, maybe a couple of raindrops here and there. Most of it is just in the form of drizzle. And actually, visibility in this picture is not bad as of right now. We have a temperature of 59 degrees. Dew point stands at 58, so there's obviously 1 degree difference there, but we still have a relative humidity well up in the upper 90s. And in a lot of cases, the dew points and the temperature have been running neck and neck the same. We've got a slight breeze out there, which also helps to kind of dissipate some of the fog. Quarter-mile visibility is still being reported out there at the airport. It's improved at Port SA. Not bad around Randolph and then going in toward New Braunfels, and then a lot more thick fog off to the east around Gonzales there. Castroville, Hondo, you've got some fog as well. Further out west, pretty good, but then to the east is where all the fog is, and the dense fog advisory, which was expanded to include Medina, Frio County, and down to the south, and then off to the east of there. This is in effect up until 10 o'clock this morning. Temperatures a little bit cooler where there is no fog, and you've got some of these clearer skies allowing the heat to escape out into space. And then we've got milder temperatures. We're actually anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees above normal for our low right now. Mountain Cedars on the moderate side. Mold is low. Updated count comes out in a couple of hours or so. After we get rid of the fog, because it is going to be very stubborn throughout the rest of the morning commute, we'll be up to 74 at noon, 80 high temperature today. Just like this morning, 15, 20 degrees above normal, that's what our high temperature is going to be. We're going to do it all over again tomorrow. Fog in the morning, sunshine, very warm in the afternoon, then changes on Thursday. What does that mean for the weekend with this front moving through? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, any problems from the fog, Stephen?
Not just yet, Mike. Thankfully, it has just been quiet out there. Not a lot of folks are getting their morning started early with us, but some are. So let's get a quick look around town. 37 at Pecan Valley. You can see it's one of those shots you want to make sure that you can drive especially careful through because the fog is popping up on some of these TransGuide cameras. And as Mike mentioned, we can probably expect the same situation tomorrow. But this will be lingering around through the morning commute. So just again, take your time and make sure that you plan your commute ahead of time. 410 at Jackson Keller. Traffic is already picking up out there. But let's get you to the map. And we are not spotting any slowdowns or any issues, at least at this point. But that's probably going to change in the next half hour or so. Just make sure as folks get their day started that you take your time. If you are traveling into San Antonio, there's no need to rush. If you're traveling in from Seguin, it's still pretty green on I-10 westbound. 29 minutes at this hour, a little more than half an hour. That's the usual drive time on 87 traveling in from Lavernia. And for our friends in Floresville, it's a 28-minute drive time to the Alamo City. Back here on TransGuide, all right, so 37 at Pecan Valley. We just showed you that shot, but you can see that traffic's moving along there. 410 at Fredericksburg, we did have a stalled vehicle that already cleared out, so things are looking a lot better out there, but we'll watch the roads closely, and as always, make sure you do the same. Mark, stuff.
Thank you, Stephen. If home is where the heart is, then one northeast side family has a pretty big hole in its heart. San Antonio police say damage to that home was done overnight by an out-of-control car. Katrina Weber is live at the corner of Lane and Higgins Road with that story. Katrina, was anyone hurt?
Good morning, Stephanie. Thankfully, no one hurt. Police say even though that car burst into a bedroom, there was no one sleeping there at the time. Now, even from across the street, we can see the damage, some of the damage here, that yellow tape put up by first responders where there once was a fence. This crash happened just before 1 o'clock this morning. The home actually has an address on a street called Green Jay. The back of it faces Higgins Road. Police suspect that the driver was drunk. They say that woman, who is in her 30s, kept going when she got to the area where Lane dead ends into Higgins. Then her car went right through the backyard fence into the family's spare bedroom. The firefighters told us that they were able to shore up the home to prevent anything from collapsing. Police did take the driver into custody, again on a charge of driving while intoxicated. And meanwhile, the family is left to make the repairs and clean up after this. Reporting live on the northeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. 5:35 from heavy rain to mudslides to power outages. California is dealing with the effects of a major storm.
As ABC's Christy Aletto reports, the storm has also turned deadly.
The weather disaster rocking California has turned even more deadly and destructive as forecasters warn most of the state to brace for a, quote, relentless parade of cyclones.
Unprecedented rainfall right now and has been occurring throughout the day. The bad news is we're not out of it yet.
Authorities north of Los Angeles in San Luis Obispo County say floodwaters swept away a 5-year-old and his mother in their car. Witnesses reportedly rescued the mom, but the boy was swept away downstream. The city of Santa Barbara is seeing about 6 inches of rain yesterday alone, flooding homes and major highways with more rain on the way.
Northbound of the 101 shut down because of this. What is typically a babbling creek is now a raging Class 5 river. This is what 6 inches of rain on top of saturated ground looks like.
The new round of severe weather now triggering floodwaters in areas at risk for mudslides because of previous wildfires that have made vegetation less stable.
We're really kind of asking everybody in the county to shelter in place, as it were.
And overnight, some of California's wealthiest neighborhoods were under evacuation orders, including Montecito, the seaside community that's home to Oprah, Rob Lowe, and other celebrities.
This is crazy.
Ellen DeGeneres posting this video showing a raging creek near her home.
This creek next to our house never flows, ever.
Christy Aletto, ABC News, New York.
In Washington, House Republicans have passed a rules package for the new 118th Congress. That package includes a concession that allows just one member to call for a vote to oust the sitting speaker. McCarthy also agreed to expand the mandate of a select committee investigating the alleged weaponization of the federal government. That mandate would include probing ongoing criminal investigations. The new speaker also signed off on a pledge to pare any debt ceiling increase to spending cuts and also a spending cap that could roll back increases for both defense and non-defense spending.
President Joe Biden, Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are set to meet for a series of talks on migration, trade, and climate change. The three leaders are trying to mend tensions that have divided the continent. Today's gathering of North American countries is held most years. However, there have been strains in the relationship, and those were on display when Biden and López Obrador met yesterday. During their conversation, López Obrador challenged the U.S. to end its abandonment and disdain for Latin America, and Biden defended his country's foreign aid programs.
The uncrewed SpaceX Dragon spacecraft has undocked from the International Space Station, returned home after a resupply mission. A spacecraft got there in late November after being launched atop a Falcon 9 rocket. It took about 4,400 pounds of scientific tests and supplies to the station. It was SpaceX's 26th commercial resupply to the space station for NASA. The craft will use parachutes to land off the coast of Florida sometime tomorrow. Well, back here at home, preparations in full gear for the San Antonio Spurs' 50th anniversary celebration game at the Alamodome.
The game is on Friday, and Sarah Costa joins us in the studio with a look at what the fans can expect. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark and Steph. Steph, I know you're a big Spurs fan.
Yes.
You bought tickets? Are you going to this game?
I am.
I knew you were. And that's exactly what the Spurs organization is asking fans to do. Buy the tickets, fill the Dome to celebrate 50 years for our beloved Spurs. And check out this video of the Dome getting ready for Friday. So crews were busy Monday installing the court for the game between the San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors, which is taking place on Friday. So the Spurs announced they were within 5,000 tickets of breaking the all-time NBA game attendance record and 8,000 away from reaching the Alamodome's capacity of 65,000 for the game. In another historic twist, the first ever NBA game played in the Alamodome was between the Spurs and the Warriors that happened back in 1993. So the Alamodome game will serve as the organization's biggest 50th anniversary celebration with limited edition merchandise, pregame and postgame parties in the H-E-B Plaza, halftime performance by 90s duo tag team, rap duo there, and fireworks, much more can be expected. Fans are encouraged to arrive early to take part in many of those pre-game festivities and features that pay homage to the Spurs' 50 years here in San Antonio. To help the Spurs break the all-time record, fans can purchase the remaining tickets at the Alamodome box office online at Ticketmaster.com or on the Spurs app, with prices starting at just $10, limit of 6 tickets per person. And you can watch a really cool time-lapse video of the installation of that court. Just head to KSAT.com. Go Spurs, go. Mark and Steph.
Go Spurs, go. It's weird to see that Final Four setup for a Spurs game.
Yes, we're gotten used to the AT&T Center.
We have, for sure. 540, 59 degrees on your Tuesday.
RSV can be a potentially deadly condition for many young children and infants. Up next, how a new treatment being developed right now could protect kids and when it could be available.
Outside with live cam, if you're just now waking up and have turned us on, we've got some fog and mist in some parts of the area. Dense fog advisory in effect through much of the morning. Mike will have much more coming up. 543, it would be the first of its kind. A long-acting antibody treatment to protect against RSV in infants is now up for review by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
CNN's Mandy Gaither shows us how the therapy works and a timeline for when it could be available.
For months, RSV had a grip on the U.S. As cases rose, some pediatric hospitals were overwhelmed. But the latest CDC data shows the virus has peaked in the U.S.
RSV is down. That's good.
And now there's a potential therapy in our fight against future RSV cases in infants. The FDA is reviewing nirsevimab, a long-acting antibody for the prevention of lower respiratory tract infections caused by the virus. The first of its kind antibody would be administered as a single dose. In a statement, the companies that developed the therapy said the FDA has indicated it will work to expedite its review and approval could happen sometime this summer, adding, if approved, we believe nirsevimab may transform the medical community's approach to RSV prevention in infants, and we are committed to working with the FDA to support completion of the review as quickly as possible. Data from a phase 3 trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine found RSV infections requiring medical attention happened in 1.2% of infants who received the therapy, compared with 5% of infants who got a placebo. That means the treatment is more than 74% effective and no safety concerns were identified. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Time now, 5:45 and 59 degrees for now.
Taking a look at some TransSky cameras around town, things look a little better in a few spots around town compared to about an hour ago, but we'll see if that is truly the case with Stephen and Mike coming up. In your morning consumer headlines, get ready for another crypto roller coaster ride this year. The FBI and other agencies are already raising concerns about an online scam. U.S. regulators have issued their first joint statement warning banks and others about the risks of fraud, volatility, and poor risk management in the crypto world. Authorities urge you to be careful when getting random texts or messages through social media. Law enforcement officials say scammers usually target their victims by sending mass texts hoping someone takes the bait, and they usually do.
Ring parent company Amazon is introducing a Ring camera for your car. It's a small dual-facing camera that sits on the dashboard and captures the vehicle's exterior as well as interior. It is able to detect activities such as break-ins and begin recording while also sending an alert and live video to the owner. So the traffic stop feature lets drivers start recording when they get pulled over or they have an accident. It's going to cost about $200 now before the formal launch. Next month, the price goes up to $250.
It has been a little while since we talked to Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check back with Stephen.
Well, you know what the good thing is, there really is not a lot to talk about other than what we are seeing on some of these TransGuide cameras. 1604 at Wiseman, let's get a look at TransGuide. As you can see, maybe one person's making their way on by in this particular spot of town, but pretty foggy. A lot of these other TransGuide cameras really aren't picking up the same. So just remember, if you're driving through an area like this, make sure you drive carefully. In certain areas, make sure you use those low beams. Taking you to the map, really the big topic at this point, aside from the fog, is going to be some of the active construction, which will lead to road closures. For our friends in Kendall County, we want to make sure that you plan your commute ahead of time because we will see continuing paving work actually will take place here along I-10, which is a busy area. It begins 9 a.m. Part of it should wrap on Thursday, January 12th. This will be an all-day sort of deal. It ends around 3 in the afternoon, so expect to see various lane closures on the frontage road from Scenic Loop to Johns Road. So if you travel through I-10, you know it's one of those busy spots, so watch out for the TxDOT crews out there. But back here at 1604 at Wiseman, it looks just like a foggy shot, but thankfully it also looks pretty quiet as well.
Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
Mist out there as well. You saw a couple little drops on.
I did around US 90 maybe, on the, closer on the west side.
On my windshield, it was just so very fine. I kept looking, going, is that mist down there? And then all of a sudden, the wipers would go once or twice.
And then you're like, raccoon!
And that was about it. But no, on the serious side, watch out for a little bit of this mist because the roads are going to be damp. I love this picture.
Oh, that's pretty.
Beautiful monarch butterfly. Absolutely gorgeous out there. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, this picture's not bad, other than being a little out of focus in the camera. As it gets more and more, or else I'm going blind right now, as it gets more out of focus as it rolls on. We're still reporting, though, quarter-mile visibility out there at the airport. 10 now, Randolph. So, again, you can drive down the road and not have any fog and then all of a sudden run into some of it. New Braunfels has a little bit of fog, more of it out there in toward Medina County, and Bernie Stage has a little bit of that fog. Cotulla as well. Fredericksburg, but then the majority is in the eastern half, or almost eastern two-thirds of our area, and that's where the dense fog advisory is right now, up until 10 o'clock this morning. So it is going to be stubborn fog, sticking around for at least the next 4 hours or so. Temperatures basically going to just stay steady throughout the rest of the morning. When you have this very high humidity and this low cloud cover, it's not going to move all that much. And then we will see some sunshine by later on this morning, and that'll get us up into the mid-70s at noon. Normal high is 63. We're going to top off at 80. So we're going to be 15 to 20 degrees, beg your pardon, up above normal. And that's going to be the situation tomorrow as well. Same thing with the fog because the humidity is going to be sticking around here in the overnight hours. And then we'll have sunshine in the afternoon. Then we go into Thursday morning and we're going to be starting off with in the wee hours of Thursday morning. We're going to be starting off with very mild temperatures with this high humidity here. But here's the front that moves on through and that pulls in that dry air. And that's just going to be clearing everything out. So here's a long-range computer model. Sunshine this afternoon. Clouds move back in tomorrow. Maybe a couple of them left over throughout the day tomorrow afternoon. Thursday morning, notice how as the front moves through, just some clouds. A little bit of rain well off to the east, but this thing around here is just not going to produce anything. If there is a sprinkle, fantastic, but wouldn't count on anything. We're going to have some beautiful weather in behind this front moving on through here. But again, unfortunately, it's not going to be a rain producer. So here's what's going on again with the upper level steering winds. Other than these little bit of a small roller coaster, if you will, there's nothing that is coming straight out of Canada. No huge troughs or anything like that to bring in very, very cold air. So overall, we have this west to east flow with minor fluctuations around here, which means we get these little fronts that move through just to kind of knock us back down to normal readings, which is going to be the case by Thursday with that front. 74 today at noon, anything but normal today because we'll be, again, 10, 15, 20 degrees above where we should be, 80 for a high temperature. We do it all again tomorrow. Fog in the morning, very warm in the afternoon. Front moves through early on Thursday, so we'll still be in the upper 50s, still well above normal starting off Thursday, but then 65, so just about where we should be. Then chilly morning, downright cold Friday morning, Saturday morning, and pretty cool on Sunday morning. Beautiful weather through Saturday, more clouds on Sunday, and a return of the humidity.
Return, and wow.
Yep. And like I said, not a drop of rain in sight.
Mike, you got your mega tickets yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Today?
Of course.
Of course. Okay. All right. 554, 58 degrees.
Let's check your winning lotto numbers. Pick 3, 781, Fireball 1, Daily 4, 9453, Fireball 7.
Cash 5, 5, 7, 8, 10, 16. Texas two-step 8, 16, 30, 34 with a bonus ball of 4. And Mike is going to take a shot at that $1.1 billion tonight for Mega. Powerball 18, 43, 48, 60, 69. Powerball 14, Power Play 3.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, while I was there last week, there are a series of new storms coming at the Bay Area all the way down to Los Angeles, even San Diego. I've got to tell you, this series of storms does not look to have an end in sight. There are high wind alerts all the way to Texas because some of these storms will start getting picked up and moving east. We'll get into all of that. And also ahead on GMA, President Biden's lawyers revealed that documents marked classified were found in office space that he used as a private citizen. The Justice Department is now reviewing how that happened. Those developing stories and so much more right here on GMA.
In our next hour, GMSA, looking for money for college may be easier than you think. If you know where to look, we'll tell you how to find hidden scholarships. And we're tracking that fog and mist with our friends over at TransGuide.